Alright, the games are non-stop here. The tournament is flowing in full force. Bronol, I think they were both running Decay, weren't they? In this Decay versus Decay. Oslohund, the Hound of Norway, I imagine. That's what he is intending to be. Yep, and Decay versus Decay. Darkling coming out for Bronol on turn 2. Not the most aggressive turn 2 unit, but in Decay it's perfectly acceptable to drop a chump blocker for your Rot Eaters, for your Witch Doctors, for your Harvesters, for all kinds of good stuff. Ilmire Tribesman coming on for Oslohund. That's the more aggressive / defensive play than a Darkling. But the Rot Eater in back of the Darkling is exactly what Bronol wanted to accomplish. Thing is about Darklings, like, they're soul stealable. Specifically in this matchup, they're soul stealable, which is the big deal about them. Over, say, a Tribesman. I mean, they can both be languided, they can both be turned into a wall, but of course, this is a much more powerful wall. Brain Lice on the Harvester likely means that it will be destroyed before it ever attacks. If this Harvester is able to do any damage before it is destroyed, I'll be very surprised. A Brain Lice on a 5 countdown Harvester on round 3 is basically a death sentence. Sacking in a Soul Steal here for an Oblivion Seeker. We'll be top decking afterwards, in theory. Unless the Oblivion Seeker is destroyed. Which, a Brain Lice would destroy it. But is that really what you want to do when you can get a Life Stealer out and then a Witch Doctor the following turn? I don't know. We'll see what Oslohund says. The Hound of Norway. If this were I just imagine, like, if these players, like, came into the ring and like boxers did, and you know, were hyped up and had their posse with them. Probably be hyped as the Hound of Norway. Lifestealer in front of the Curse Logger. If it takes any damage, it can heal it back up by attacking later on. Harvester drawn, into a Soul Steal. Now the Soul Steal is pretty good for the Curse Logger, and that'll probably be the play here. Harvester will go down to 4, and the following turn it will be destroyed from poison damage. So yeah, there's no way this Harvester is going to trigger at all. Damning Curse is drawn, but it of course kills the Harvester. Witch Doctor is a play right now, and I imagine you just do it. Hit end turn, drop your Witch Doctor end turn, and start top decking. You will lose your Life Stealer unless you do some... Okay, he's not going to Witch Doctor at all. Is he going to Damning Curse here? He could Damning Curse the Rot Eater away. I mean, the Harvester's dead either way. At this point, it looks like he's Damning Cursing. I could be wrong. Maybe he's Rot Eatering. Okay, he's Rot Eatering. Which will get the bonus from the destroyed Harvester. Iron Bile. Oh my goodness, he runs Iron Bile. Curse 1, attack 1. All units. So that would destroy the Life Stealer. He gets rid of it though. Halls of Umlasa. I thought we were going to see Iron Bile there. That would have destroyed it, right? 4, this gets Curse. You run Iron Bile, but you don't play it that turn. Why do you run Iron Bile? I'm just kidding. Halls of Umlasa is a good play as well. And there it goes. Five resources for Oslohund. Lifestealer will be going up to 4 health this turn. It's probably okay to kill the Oblivion Seeker at this point. It has to die at some point unless you're just going to languid it. You really want to drop the Harvester. This is when sacrificing gets so tricky. I don't think you keep the Damning Curse anymore. I almost feel like you play the Harvester this turn to start ticking down. You gotta watch out for the Mire Shambler, because if the Mire Shambler gets pushed up, Lifestealer will be destroyed. It'll go to 4, but there's 4 damage here, so maybe the Witch Doctor is better. This is a tough call. This is one where I don't think there's a clear right answer. I don't think you Damning Curse, though. Okay, he's going for the Witch Doctor. Now, he's going to be able to push this Shambler up if he just has... It's not going to be guaranteed. Oh, no, it is, if he Harvester Blightbearers. He runs Newer Flesh Seamstress as well, worth pointing out. Yeah, he hasn't sacrificed yet. He'll also have to expose his Rot Eater to do this, if he wants to destroy this Lifestealer. You see what I'm saying? Like, he'll have to move the Rot Eater here, and play the Blightbearer here. Which means the Mire Shambler moves up, Lifestealer is destroyed, but now the Rot Eater is exposed, and then this Rot Eater kills that Rot Eater. I think that's what we're about to see. Or he could try the 50-50 luck chance. He may be going for the 50-50. Like if he just plays Blightbearer here. Because it's not such a bad 50-50 coin flip if it loses. Because then the Mire Shambler would move backwards, and if it's destroyed later on, it would buff up the Rot Eater, and he gets a little bit of extra idle damage. So this is probably an acceptable coin flip to make if you wanted to do that sort of thing. He still hasn't sacrificed, so he's deciding what he wants to sacrifice. Is it the Nuru or is it the Necrogeddon? It is the Nuru. There's the Blightbearer. He went for the 50-50, but he went for a different 50-50 than I thought he would. Is that better or worse? It's probably better than my 50-50, because if he destroys the Blightbearer, I mean, it's a better unit, but he'll have to poison his Rot Eater to do so. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the way he wanted that to happen, though, was for the Shambler to go up. I totally see what he was thinking there, though. Like, he understood it. He understood the risk with that play. He was fine with it happening either way, but he would have preferred the Shambler to move up to destroy the Lifestealer. Ilmire Hunter ran by Oslohund. You don't see that in every Decay deck. The Franker Z of Norway. Ah, yes. Languid down to the Blightbearer. Tells me he's not going to destroy it with the Rot Eater. Soulsteel down on the Darkling. That's 4 attack onto the Rot Eater. Farewell. You probably hear my door rattling in the background. I apologize for that, but a window's open. And physics is doing its magic. Creating differences in pressures, causing my door to bounce around a little bit. Hope it's not too distracting. I'll be 1 second. Alright. Round 9. Oslohund's turn. Sacrifices for scrolls. Watcher in hand, not going to do very much. 6 resources is enough for Hunter Darkling. With the Witch Doctor out, that's very good. Has the option of destroying a Blightbearer, which heals the Lifestealer. Now the question is, what happens if the Lifestealer attacks the Blightbearer and the heal goes off? I don't recall ever seeing this before. He's not going to do it anyway. But if the Lifestealer attacks the Blightbearer, when the Blightbearer is destroyed, all creatures in the same row become poisoned. When it deals damage, it's healed. So it should be poisoned. If the Lifestealer attacked the Blightbearer, it would be healed at the same time Blightbearer is destroyed. Then the death effect would resolve. Then Lifestealer will be poisoned. But that's not bad anyway, because you can just heal your Lifestealer later on when it attacks the second time. Iron Bile in hand for Bronol. Yeah, heal happens first. Makes sense to me. Harvester comes out. Hanging on to the Rattle Him there in case of Halls of Omlasa. Soul Steal, not really worth it this turn, is it? Brain Lice can destroy the Meyer Shambler. That's probably better. Okay, going for the extra unit. Who am I to argue? More idle damage done. Blight Bearer protecting the middle row. Oslohund with 6 resources. And an Oblivion Seeker in hand. Damning Curse right now. Bronol has such a strong board here. Like if you look, like if you just started watching this game and you look at the state of each player, Bronol has a Witch Doctor out, 2 Harvesters, 1 human unit, and a couple extras. But more significantly, he's at 8 resources, 3 scrolls in hand. His Halls of Umlasa is about to tick away. Really, a lot of this advantage came from the Halls of Umlasa. Oslohund's board, he's got a lot of humans. He's got the Witch Doctor. So I guess you could argue that his board is more longer lasting than Bronol's would be. Damning Curse, by the way, went down in the Harvester. But because of the Husks and because of the Witch Doctor, you could say Oslohund's board is a little bit more durable. But he's behind on resources and scrolls. So I'm not sure it's enough to make up for it. Double Iron Bile here for Bronol. I mean, I don't think it's the turn to double Iron Bile. You could Necrogeddon. Nah. You could... I see what he does here. I see what Bronol does here. You see this? That puts the win condition... Like, everyone when you play against Decay, you think, alright, I'm thinking of my idols in terms of Husk attacks. In terms of 3, increments of 3. Iron Bile throws out the window. Now it's increments of 4. And it's a lot harder. Makes it a lot harder. I like that. I think he's Necrogedding Iron Biling. Is he really going to do this? Or just... Oh, he doesn't. And... Oh wait, he still gets the bonus, right? He poisoned with the Blight Bearer. Oh, he doesn't because... He did this intentionally. He did this intentionally. And I'm going to try and figure out before it all happens. It's too late. But he didn't want his Husks to be cursed. But they also didn't get the attack. But that's okay because the Witch Doctor still dies. And these guys are still poisoned. And I don't think it would have been any different. I don't think the result would have been any different. Maybe this Hunter would have been destroyed. It happened too fast for me to see. But I know that Bronol... He didn't make a mistake there, is what I'm trying to say. Like, he didn't like Iron Bile first, then Necro and be like, whoops. He didn't want his Husks to be cursed. Now, he will lose a Husk here, but not a big deal. This Rot Eater will be destroyed. This Hunter will be destroyed. 9 resources. He can Oblivion Seeker Cursemonger. Got rid of his second Iron Bile there. Nope. Just going to Brain Lice and then Cursemonger, perhaps. That would be the offensive play. The defensive play would be Oblivion Seeker. Goes for the Oblivion Seeker. Boom, boom. Here comes the Husk. Rot Eater is destroyed. Oh, you know what? There would have been a way to manipulate attack order there to let the Rot Eater survive a turn, right? Because this would have been destroyed first from poison damage because of attack order. So if you'd have moved your Rot Eater behind the Husk, Rot Eater would have healed up 1 and then survived an extra turn. I think he could have done that. Okay. Oslohund at 6 resources. Going up to 7. For the Oblivion Seeker, Watcher. Now he has no follow-up for the Watcher. But having on the board is not really a bad thing. 9 resources though for Bronol means Halls of Umlasa could come down this turn. Can't drop the Cursemonger along with it. It'll be a very slow play, dropping Halls and Tribesmen. It'll pay off in the long run, hopefully. Otherwise, he has to Cursemonger Tribesmen. Here's the Tribesmen, either way, and the Cursemonger. It's the more offensive play. Halls could potentially be too slow at this point. His board is not incredibly great. Now there is a Necrogeddon drawn for Oslohund, and he does have the Watcher out. He has the option of doing so. He could do some damage, however you get all these attacking husks next turn. All those husks. And my chair makes little squeaky noises. Hasn't sacrificed yet. Tough choice to make here. Damning Curse is actually playable on the Cursemonger here, but the real problem is all these husks. And I don't think Oslohund has an answer for like doing mass damage like this. He would need a Mire Curse. Whoa, Muto Fighters. I like seeing Muto Fighters in Oslohund's deck. Not too great against Decay. But of course you don't know what you're going to play, who you're going to play against. Predicting Energy, these would be great scrolls to use. They're also humans, so I mean, they will form husks. Nothing to sneeze at. There's the Necrogeddon. Idle damage done to the 3rd and 4th. And he's going to wipe the middle row, which leaves 2 attacking husks. And with a Soul Steal in the front husk, that's a wipe board for Oslohund. He can Soul Steal Halls of Omlasa here and be in a great spot. There's the Soul Steal, 6 resources left. Husk will be destroyed, Husk will be destroyed. There's the Halls of Omlasa. Still hasn't even sacrificed because he knew that was such a good play. Gets rid of the Festering Freak there. Probably repositions some units, maybe moves the Cursemonger up. And calls it a day. Tribesman, Cursemonger up, Shambler back. Boom. Boom. The Hound of Norway is in a tough spot. Look at all these tiny humans, though. He's not out of it yet. He can drop a bunch of tiny humans and get a good Necrogeddon off. That's a realistic thing that could happen. Getting rid of one of the larger humans. He has 7 resources. He can drop every one of these humans. He can drop Muto Fighter, Darkling, Ripper. I think he's going to do it. Oh no, don't put the Darkling there, though. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter right now. Oh, well, you know what? Putting it here is understandable because you have the option of moving it up or down next turn, if that's what you want to do. I mean, is he really going to Soul Steal a Darkling? Probably not. So I wouldn't worry about it. The issue would be like a Necrogeddon, which he doesn't have anyway. Blightbearer up top, protecting the idol. Does he go for idol damage, or does he use the curse at this point? If he hits this idol at 10 health, he's a Necrogeddon away from winning, pretty much. No, he'd need his Iron Bile. But he is going to go for the idol damage, I think. He can drop a Watcher this turn if he wants to. It's not that important right now. But if he plays the Watcher and he draws a Necrogeddon, he almost certainly wins. And it also, by playing the Watcher, you also force your opponent to make you think you're going to Necrogeddon, which can sometimes be just as effective as playing the Necrogeddon. Like forcing your opponent to do some blocking down here when he normally wouldn't. Can give you an advantage by virtue of just acting like you're going to do something. Darkling up top. And that's going to be the turn. Yep. Alright. Oslohund has no Necrogeddon. Muto Fighter is in hand. Double Soul Steal. Now, Soul Stealing is pretty good because it gives you more units to surround your Watcher with. It also ticks down the Harvester. You can Brain Lice the Mire Shambler. Gets rid of the Muto Fighter here. There's a Necrogeddon. Okay, do you Necrogeddon here? I mean, you're not going to win with a Necrogeddon, that's for sure. Not with these blockers. He could have got really lucky if Bronol didn't block this top lane. He could have got a really lucky 1, 2, 3, 4. He would have needed 3 here and 1 here, and he would have won. That's not going to happen. I don't think you Necro here. I think it's Brain Lice on the Mire Shambler. Maybe even Soul Steal on the Darkling afterwards. I mean, if you double Soul Steal, you get more units out, so that's better for Necrogeddon. So I think that's what he's going to do instead. He can keep the Shambler down here. It's protected from the tribesmen. Okay, nobody's going to move it up. And he's going to play a tribesman. Okay. Which protects the Mire Shambler. Gotcha. Now this Darkling in front of the Watcher, like we said earlier, that's not... It's going to get wasted. His idle damage is going to get wasted. And that's... like if he had the Ripper here, would it have been that much worse? Yeah, I really hate seeing this idle damage going to waste. Every bit is so important to Oslohund. Brain Lice on the Mire Shambler. Like imagine, I mean, if it was here. Of course he probably wouldn't destroy it then, but he's so much closer to winning, if that were the case. Now he saves his Rippers, which are really just Necrogeddon fuel anyway. Okay. Necrogeddon in hand, but it's still, yeah, it's still not a very good Necrogeddon. Not with how Bronol is positioning. Soulsteel Muto Fighter. Nothing is going to die to Brain Lice. If you Soulsteel the Darkling and you attack both Rippers into the Blightbearer, and you just assume you're going to Necrogeddon the following turn, that would be okay to do. You also trigger your Harvester, though. And Harvester is pretty key here as well. Lots of tough decisions. The decisions are so much harder when you're behind because when you're ahead, you can make the least efficient decision and be forgiven just because of the rest of your board advantage. But when you're behind and you do the less optimal of your choices, the least optimal, it hurts you so much more. Because you really need to eke out every single damage, every single advantage. Whether that's idle damage, board control, just everything. And there's the Soulsteel onto the back husk in the middle row, followed by a Languid on the Blightbearer. And a Ripper in the middle. Okay, so where does that leave him? Oh, another Necrogeddon for Bronol. Is that game? Where's his Watcher? He never played... He sacrificed his Watcher. He has a Necrogeddon. Does he have Iron Bile? No. Even if he did, there's too many units to win without a Watcher. So I don't think it's Necrogeddon time. I do think he will be doing a lot of idle damage. Can he kill the Harvester? Yeah, he sure can. He's got a Daemon Curse, which means that the Blightbearer is going to be destroyed. And it's important to note that the 2 idle damage went onto the top idle there from that Daemon Curse Watcher combo. So if he wants the husk from this Blightbearer, he'll have to move his Witch Doctor up. Two Necrogeddons in hand. Okay. I assume he's going to be taking this 7 health idol down to below 7 in some form or another. He has a couple units that this husk still hasn't moved. If he takes this to 1, it's a Darkling away from being destroyed. Ooh, he's going to poison his own tribesman, poison his own Rot Eater because he's concerned about losing the game. He wants to block every idol that he can. Tribesman will be destroyed, and 3 damage to the 4th idol. Both Rippers are poisoned. 2 Necrogeddons in hand. If you Necrogeddon right now, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you Necrogeddon right now, there's no way you can win this turn. But if you're extremely lucky, you can set yourself up. No, actually... So you'd have to move the Ripper down, Necro. You could get 3 damage down here. You'd have to have 3 of them hit this idol, and then 1 of them hit this idol. Well, he doesn't move it down anyway, and it didn't happen anyway. But he could have gotten 1 idol to 1 health and destroyed another idol had his RNG been perfect. Like, remember earlier when the Darkling didn't get the idle damage done? He would have actually been so close to winning that turn had he had an extra 2 idle damage done. Once again requiring lucky RNG. However, Bronol himself has a Necrogeddon, and had he his Iron Bile, he would have a win here, or probably a Watcher. We know he sacrificed at least 1 Watcher, and I've seen 2 Iron Biles, possibly 3. Drawing any of those scrolls wins the game right now. This is a good game. This is a close decay matchup. You can see, I mean, you can just look at the idle damage. The idle damage tells the story. But Bronol's been on the side of board control for a while now, and it's about to pay off in the form of a win. He can't sacrifice for scrolls. It's important to note because he's at the hand cap, right? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or maybe he could have. Is it 7 or 8? I forget. Anyway, Festering Freak with a Necrogeddon does not win the game, but it sure does clear the board. And Bronol is a turn away from winning the game, pretty much. A number of ways. Many scrolls winning. We already know he has a Necrogeddon in hand. So Oslohund needs to drop some units and block, and wait for his Necrogeddon opportunity. And it comes in the form of Rot Eater, Ilmire Hunter. I'd like to see the Hunter in front of the Rot Eater because of Necrogeddon, because of Husks doing 3 damage there. Is there a win without sacrificing for scrolls? Well, no. Because of the unit positioning. Oh, he can sacrifice. He can drop a Blightbearer. Wait. That wins. That would have won. Am I right? Because he could have destroyed the 3 up top. 3 here. He could have got 3 here. And then moved 2 here? Or is that, did he not have enough Husks? He didn't have enough Husks. Okay. He was 1 Husk short. So he's going to go for the board clear instead. So close. Can't be any closer than 1 idle health left. No Darkling in hand, though, for Bronol. And doesn't matter. Sweeps the board. Bronol takes it in the winner's bracket quarterfinals. Oslohund has another chance to move on to the loser's bracket, which is really a misnomer. It should be called the second trier's bracket, right?